Hi guys, Amanda here from Faithfully Homemade. Today I'm going to show you some winter themed activities that you could do. They're learning activities for probably kids ages anywhere from preschool through first grade. And they're math and they're literacy activities. The first thing I want to show you is some of the manipulatives that I have here. You by all means do not need to have these manipulatives, but they just kind of make learning a little bit more fun. So I have some winter themed manipulatives. These here are just some polar bears erasers. They're erasers, and I got them from I'll leave links below where I got everything. But so these are polar bear erasers that I've had for a while. These are another little set of polar bear erasers. And here's some other winter themed erasers here that I have. Erasers are always great little manipulatives used for counters, for covering up your answers, for all sorts of little things. I also have here just some snowflakes. These I believe are supposed to be like little for like making charms on little necklaces, but they're great to use as just little manipulatives, counters, things like that. So have a little bin of those. And then I also have these that I've had for a long time. These are little planter gems from the dollar store, and they're supposed to be used in a planter, but they're great for wintertime because they kind of look like little gems of ice or little pieces of ice. So these are really great. And then I have here just some snowflake, like little, I think they're supposed to be, just little craft snowflakes that you could glue onto a paper, but we can use them for, little manipulatives when we're working. And the last thing I have here, these are winter stamps. And kids can use them as stamps, but I also enjoy using them. It's a great fine motor activity because they can pick them up, and instead of placing them this way where you can't see the picture, they can try to put them this way where you can see the picture. It's trying to get them to stand up, but also using them on our assignment so that they're marking their answer by placing the picture standing up properly on their, you'll see on their work when they're doing it. And so it's fine motor, it's balancing, and then it's also, they're going to be working on whatever the activity is that we're working on too. So these are just some options for you. The other thing that I have here is this box. Let me see if you can, yeah, you can see. These are just cotton balls that I threw in a box. They kind of make it look like snowballs. And we're going to be using these for some of our activities I'm going to show you. And I also have just some confetti, like winter confetti. This is like table confetti that I have had forever, and I never knew what to do with it until I thought, oh my goodness, I'll just throw it in with our cotton balls and make it even look kind of even more shiny and pretty. So it's kind of almost a sensory bin in a way. Okay, and then one more. Okay, so the other thing that I have here is just some white Play-Doh, and we're going to be using that to make little mounds of snow, and you're going to see how the kids are going to put their answers use it in their learning. Okay, so getting past all of the different manipulatives here, I'm going to show you this is the first activity, and these are little snowmen, as you can see, and the different snowmen or snow girls here have a missing ending sound. So what the children are going to do is they're going to take a snowman. They're going to look at the two words, and there's also picture clues, and they're going to decide what letter is missing. So this one is bed and mad. So the missing ending sound would be D. And then they have to look through their hats here and find the letter D. And they're going to put the proper hat, there it is, on their snowman. So it's just a matchup. So here we have net and cut. So we're missing the letter T. So they would match it up like so. Super cute. All right, let me show you the next one. Okay, this next activity is actually an interactive book, and I'm going to really quickly show you how I put it together. When I printed out the pages, I actually folded them in half and making the picture side show out. So this is actually one regular size page folded in half, and then I laminated them in half just like you see, and then I just added some book rings. So the reason I wanted them laminated is because you may want to use a dry erase marker with these. There's also another way you can use them, so I'll show you that. But so this one is a math activity, and this is called Snow More or Less. And what the kids are going to do is they're going to open up their book, and they're going to read. I see how many snowballs, I see how many snowflakes, I can circle more. Now this one's already been done with a dry erase marker. So there are 7 snowballs and 3 snowflakes. The child would have to count, write in the number, and then circle more. So that's one way to do it, is with a dry erase marker. Now another way to do it, I'm trying to erase this, is with little manipulatives. So if you have a number board like I do, I have this number board. This, I believe, is from Learning Resources, but there's also Montessori number boards that you can get to 100. I really like this one. So I'm going to show you how I would use this. So it says, I see how many snowballs. The child will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then they're going to find their number 7 on their board and put it in the spot. And so instead of writing it, they're going to find it. Okay, I see how many snowflakes. 1, 2, 3. So instead of writing the 3 with the marker, they can use their number 3 manipulative here and put it on the spot. And that says I can circle more. Instead of circling more, they can use one of their manipulatives to mark more. So I'm going to use a little bear here, a little polar bear, and I'm going to put him on the one that is more. Then I'm going to do my next page here. So this says I see how many polar bears. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to mark 4. I see how many books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to mark 8. And then it says I can circle less, so instead of circling, I'm going to mark, and this time I'm going to use one of these little snowflakes. I'm going to put it on there. So that's just another way the child can do this interactive book instead of using a dry erase marker. But if you didn't have these kind of little manipulatives, a dry erase marker is just as fun. My kids love using dry erase markers, and then you can just, since I did laminate it, I can just wipe it right off, and we can do it over and over again. So this is what this book looks like. I'll show you kind of some more of the pages, and they're just going to be comparing more or less with all these different winter, objects. So, okay, let me show you the next activity. All right, this next one is telling time. Okay, so it comes with 2 sets of cards. These ones are the clocks. Well, these ones are the analog time on a little sheet of ice there, and then these ones have the polar bears. And so one way to do this is on a pocket chart like I have here. The child will grab a polar bear, put it in there, look at the time. This is 7:30, and then they will find the matching card that says 7:30 there, and they'll match it up on their pocket chart. So that's one fun way to do it. Another way to do it is they can go ahead and use one of their manipulatives. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to see how well this one would work. And they would find a card, and they would stick it in there in the ice, and then they would find their matching time and match it up. If it matches, awesome. They could go on, find another one. This one says 3 o'clock. They'd find their matching 3 o'clock. Where is it? And they'd stick it in there. So that one actually works really well with the little gems here. It kind of holds them up, and so that's another way to do it. Okay guys, this next activity is probably one of my favorites. This one is a reading literacy activity, and this is practicing changing short vowel words into long vowel words with Magic E. So it comes with this mat that looks like this. It's called Magic E Snowflakes. And then it has these cards that look like this. They're all short vowel words. And then these are the words that are going to be changed. Sorry, some of them are upside down here. Okay, and then it comes with a magic E that you attach to a clip. I hot glue gunned mine so it wouldn't come off. And so that is attached there. And then it also comes with some picture cards like this, okay? If you, by chance, end up downloading this off my website, you can, in the download, everything also comes in black and white. So if you have a printer and that's just too much ink for you, no worries. It all comes in black and white as well. Okay, so to get started, what the children are going to do is they're going to pick up a card, okay? So any of these cards, you might, sometimes I like to, you know, put them upside down and then they just flip over a card, or sometimes I just let them pick a card, or however, or I just hand them a card, or whatever you want to do. So let me just show you one. So this is the first one. So they're going to put it on their mat like this, and they're going to read the short vowel word, cap, and there's a picture of a cap. Then they're going to take their magic E clip, they're going to clip it over the snowflake. Now they've made the word cape. So they're going to place it back on their mat, and they're going to look through their pictures here to find the picture of the cape. And I saw it a minute ago. Here it is. And they'll put it on their mat. So then that one is done. So they've done cat, they've read cap, and then they made it into a long vowel word, which is cape. So what we teach them is when you add E to the end of a short vowel word, it changes the first vowel to say its name and it becomes long. So cap to cape, and so on. So then they would just do, you know, they would do the next one. So this would be pin, and when they put it on there, then it's pine, and they have to go ahead and find the pine tree branch. Where was it? There it is. Pine. So, so you get the idea. I just think this one is a lot of fun, and I love just clipping it on there and showing the kids how it's magic. E can change the vowel sound. Okay, this next activity center is a math one, and it's a lot of fun because it is these mats. It comes with these mats, but it's hidden pictures. So what they're gonna do is, here's a mat, and this one says this is picture number 1. So you're gonna use the cards that are for picture number 1. This says picture 3, picture 2. So these are picture number 1. What they're going to do is they're going to count. So these go up to 20. So this is great. This is going to be great for my like 3, early 4-year-old who is still practicing those teen through 20 numbers. So he's going to count. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's going to find the card that has the number 5, and he's going to place it right in that spot. Let's see. This one here is 19. So he is going to find the card that has 19 and put it in the spot. And once he has completed these, he is going to make a picture. So let's see, here's 20. Once he has covered up each of the spots and matched them, it will make a picture here. So let's see, this is 6, and this is 11. As you can see, it's starting to make a picture. Here's 16. So he has to count all the little fish that the penguins are holding, and he has to match it up like so. And as you can see, as you count and match up the numbers, you can see it's starting to make a, let's see, 17 is here and 8 is here. It makes a picture. So it's just kind of like a hidden picture. There are 3 of them. So that was the first one. They count the penguins and the fish. This one, let's see. This one they're counting how many snowballs to make the snowmen in each square. And then this one is snowballs. Okay, the next activity is called read and feed. So they are going to read and then feed the penguins. I'm just going to attach this picture right here to this bin. All I did was I put just a little tiny piece of tape on the back. So all you need is just a little bin to attach it to. And then it has these cards. And this is basically real and nonsense word sorting. So they're going to look at the card. They're going to read. If it does not make a word, they're going to set it down. If it does make a word, they're going to feed it to the penguins. So this says bug, so I'm going to feed that one. Feed, bite, pan. This is not a word, so I'm going to put it down. snap, fox, and they're just basic words, and then some of them do not make words, so they just put those off to the side. So some of them are long vowel words, some of them that does not make a word, so I'm gonna put it down, big, you get the idea. So they're just gonna feed the words, and then if it's a nonsense word, they're going to, sorry, they're all mixed up here. They're going to, if it's a nonsense word, they're gonna just put it off to the side. So you get the idea. Here we go. I went through all of them. Okay, the next one here is another interactive book, but this one, the last one interactive book I showed you was a math one. I also made an interactive book for language arts. This one is practicing syllable counting. So if you are unfamiliar with syllables, syllable counting is really great for helping with learning how to spell later on when you get into those tougher words, because you can sound out the word by its syllables and it helps you spell. So syllables are vowel sounds in a word, basically. And so this book is going to work on syllables up to 4. So this is called Winter Syllables. When they open up the book, it looks like this. And they're going to look at the winter word. And now if they cannot read the word themselves, there's also a picture clue. And also if you're going to be doing it with the students, then you can say the word to them. So for example, my 4 or 5-year-old who may be doing this probably can't read some of these words. He could read skate for sure, but may not be able to read some of them. The picture clues are very good ways for him to read it as well, but he may need a little bit of help, like with chocolate. Okay, so for example, the first one, snowman. He has to say snowman. One way to sound out your syllables is to touch the table for each syllable. So snowman. They can also snap their fingers if they can do that. Snowman. Or they can take a little gem and put one, or a little manipulative and put one down for each syllable. So snowman, as they say the word so they can hear the syllables. So this one had 2 syllables. So then he has to find the card that has the number 2 on it and place it in the box. All right. Next one, skate. When he says skate, you only hear 1 syllable, so he can put a little manipulative on there, and then he can find the number 1 and put it on there. Now, another idea to do with these is if you have Velcro, which I do have, but I just haven't done it yet. If you add Velcro to the back, then they can Velcro on their answers, and the answers will stay on the page. Okay? And they can come on and off, but they can stay on there. So, all right, that's one page. So then, let me show you another one. So, here's another one. Okay, I'm going to use my little erasers here as my, to help me. Mittens. So it's 2. So I'm going to find my card that's number 2. This one is a little bit harder. Chocolate. That one's 3. So I'm going to put my 3 down. And there are a few pictures in here that do have a 4. Let's see if I can find that. We have penguin, coat. Here's one with 4. So we have celebration. So this one is definitely one that you probably have to read with a younger child. They probably wouldn't be able to read that word on their own, but you can read it with them and they can figure it out. I'm going to use my these snowmen this time. So, or these snow bears. Celebration. So that was 4. So then I'm going to look through my cards here and match it up with 4 syllables. So you get the idea. So they're just going to go through, and it's all wintry words, obviously, to keep with our theme. We have bear, peppermint, January, sled. And that's it. Okay, we got to a really fun one. This one is practicing rhyming words. So there's 2 different sets. This first one that I'm going to show you here is the easier one. It's just CVC word rhyming words. So it's just 3-letter rhyming words. And then I have another one that's a little bit harder. But what you're going to do is you're going to hide your snowballs. Now, if you don't have cotton balls that you can hide them in, you know, obviously then you can just place them on the table and the children have to pick one up. But this just makes it a little bit more fun. So I hid mine in these cotton balls, and then you need to use the right mat. So this is the harder mat, so I'm going to flip this over, and I have the easier mat on this side. So these snowballs go with the easier mat. And what they're going to do is they're going to find a snowball in the container. Now, if you want to turn this also into a fine motor activity, if you have like little tweezers like I have here, these ones are from Lakeshore Learning. You can also get, I've seen them on Amazon and stuff. This can turn into a fine motor skill because they have to pick up the snowball. Then when they pick it up, they have to place it on the mat on the correct one. So this is jam. What does jam rhyme with? Jam rhymes with ham. They're going to place it on there using their tweezers. If you don't have a fine motor, you know, tweezers like this, then obviously they can just go ahead and grab it with their hand, you know, and find where it goes. So hid rhymes with lid. And this is the easier set. They're just 3-letter words. So I'm going to pick one here. Mix rhymes with 6, and I'm going to place it on my mat. You get the idea. Okay. Let me show you some of the ones on the harder set. So the harder set, it looks like this, and these are the cards. And obviously you would hide these inside your snowballs again, and then when they would find them, they'd have to match them up. So like bunny and honey, door and pour. You can see how much these are much more difficult. Gate and skate. So you get the idea. Dog and frog, car and star. So there's 2 different choices there for younger children or children who are just learning to read and rhyme, and then older children. Okay, this next activity is skip counting. You can practice either skip counting by 10s or by 5s. So there's 2 here. This one is skip counting by 10s, and I'll show you how this maze works. Sorry, I keep bumping into my camera here. There you go. So skip counting by 10s. You're going to use a manipulative to follow the maze to get to where you want to get to. Now, I'm going to show you this time we're going to use these stamps. Now, we're not going to actually stamp anything. We're not going to open them up. We're just going to use them kind of as a fine motor activity, but also because they have the cute little picture there. So the kids do not have to take the lids off. They're going to try to balance them as they go through the maze. So they're going to start with 10, and then if they're counting by 10s, what comes next? 20. What comes next? 30. 40, and they have to balance them here. 50. 60. As you can see, I'm getting through my maze here. 70. 80. 90. 100. All right, I made it through my maze. So my maze goes like this, down, over, down, over, down. So there is my maze to get from 10 to 100. So that's just one way you can do it, is using these little stamps. I like that way because they have to balance. Obviously, you can use any manipulative you have. Here I have these little bears, so I could have just used my bears to count 10, 20, 30. If you have little toys like this, it makes it even more fun. 40, you get the idea. I can make a little maze. You can use any of your objects. Okay, so then after you do that, I also have cards that go with it. So these are the counting by 5s cards, and these are the counting by 10s. So since we counted by 10s, I'm going to pull these ones out. And what they have to do then is just put them in order. So I'm going to look for 10. There we go. Then what comes next? 20. And then 30. And as you can see, there's 10 penguins on each card. So they're kind of getting a visual of how many, what 100 looks like once they get to 100. So right now, this is what 30 looks like. This is what 30 penguins would look like. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, so they have to order them. You could have them order them on a pocket chart as well, or put them in one whole big line out on the floor. You can, with the ones that when you're counting by fives, an idea I thought, since they're mittens, is you could clip them, use clips, and you could clip them in order on a clothesline. And that would be kind of cute as well, just to have your mittens kind of hanging up. So anyways, that is that one. I will show you the next activity. Okay guys, this next one is snow globe sorting. This one is so fun. Okay, so I have 3 sides. Okay, 5 or more sides. Let's see. This one says 4 sides, and then I have one that says no sides. Can you see that? I'll try to put them kind of closer together so you can see, but you'd obviously want to have them spread out so that the kids can see all 4 snow globes. And then what the kids are going to do is they're going to have these cards. I'll set that right there. These cards are little bears with shapes on them. You see that? This guy has triangles on. He's got a lot of triangles, but there's also all sorts of different shapes. And you can see I put the name of the shape in the corner because it's okay if it tells them what the name is, because then they can also practice the name of the shape as they're sorting. So what they're going to do is they're going to pick a card, and this is a rectangle. And they can say rectangle as they look at it, and then they can decide where it's going to go. Well, a rectangle has 4 sides, so it's going to go in this snow globe. And then here I have a square. Square has 4 sides, so it's going to go in this snow globe. Here I have a circle. A circle has no sides, so it's going to go in this snow globe over here. And here I have a rhombus. A rhombus has 4 sides. It's going to go in this one right here. Here I have a triangle. Triangle has 3 sides, so it's going to go in this snow globe. So as you get the idea, they're going to sort. Here I have a hexagon. A hexagon has 6 sides, so it's going to go in the 5 or more. So if it has 5 or more sides, it goes over here. So as you can see, they're just going to continue going through their cards, learning the names of shapes and counting the sides and sorting them. So sorting is a great skill. It's a precursor to math, obviously, but also not only are they doing the skill of sorting, but they're also practicing learning their shapes at the same time, learning counting sides. I mean, they're getting a lot with this activity. So there's that one. Okay, you guys, are you ready for another fun one? Here's another fun one. Okay, for this activity, all you need is Play-Doh. You need your mat. And then it comes with these cards here. This one is a phonics or, literacy activity. And what the kids are going to be doing is they're going to be sorting blends. So I have R blends, I have some S blends, and I have some L blends. So these are all beginning blends. Blends at the beginning of words. I'm trying to get them out here for you. What you're going to do beforehand is you're going to attach the cards to sticks. And I used hot glue to attach mine. You can obviously just I've used tape before. Tape works just fine. So you're going to attach them to sticks. Okay, then what you're going to do is the kids are going to take Play-Doh, white Play-Doh obviously, because you want it to look like a big snow mound. And up here where there's snow, they're going to kind of push it out and make a big snow hill or snow mountain, like I just did. And then they're going to pick one of their sticks. So I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, I'm going to do, just because I see some cards over here. Well, let's see if I can find it. I wanted to do SL. It doesn't really matter, obviously, but I just wanted to do it because I see it. Okay, there it is. So they're going to stick their card in the Play-Doh, like so. Let me see, can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. Okay, then they've got cards that it comes with. Cards look like this. They have pictures on them. So here I have, they're going to find 3 pictures that begin with SL. So I have slide. So they're going to, I forgot to say, once they find the picture, they're going to place it on the mat. So slide, I have sled, and I have slippers. So I found my 3, and I am done. So then they can take this one off. They can switch it out for a new one. as you can see, like that. And then they're gonna take these cards off and they can start again. So now I'm gonna look for SW. Now I would not give them the entire stack of cards because they're gonna be searching forever. I would give them, for example, if you were gonna do the SL, I would give them the 3 that match plus maybe 4 more cards, 4 or 5 more cards. So I would just have them looking in a handful of them. And a lot of times when I do activities like this, I lay them out. So I'll give them their mat, and as they're putting their snow hill together, I will lay out a couple of cards for them to choose from. So yeah, that's how I do it. I don't give them the entire stack, otherwise they're gonna be searching forever. Okay guys, we're almost done here. So this last one, well actually, yeah, this is the last one that's in this activity pack. I am gonna show you one more activity that I made last year, and I'll show you that in a minute. But this is the last one that comes with this activity set, this winter theme set. If you would like all these activities, you can either buy just the winter activities that you saw here. I'll leave a link below to that. Or you can get my bundle where you save and you get all of my activities for every single season. And you're gonna save because the seasons that we haven't gotten to yet, like spring and Easter and all that kind of stuff, Valentine's Day, will be free if you purchase now. So just keeping that in mind, I'll leave links below. I always do that. So, and maybe these will also give you ideas for activities you can come up with at home. All right, so what this one is it has, why are they upside down? It has cups or mugs with addition problems on them, as you can see. And what the kids are gonna do is they're going to pick a mug. So here we go, we have 4 plus 1. All you need are some marshmallows because we're pretending that there's hot chocolate in here. And the kiddos are going to put 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 marshmallows on there, and then plus 1 more makes, so then they can count their marshmallows. That makes 5. And the last part is to find the corresponding card. So I'm going to find the number 5 and I'm going to place it down. And now I have completed my 4 plus 1 equals 5. Okay, so then they would go on. So obviously here's another one. So I have 2 plus 5, so I'm going to put 2 marshmallows. 1, 2 plus 5. Here's 3, 5. Makes 7. And then I'm going to find my number 7. You get the idea, so they can just keep on going. Just need some marshmallows to use with this one. Now, if you don't have any real marshmallows for some reason, then I do provide little paper marshmallows that they can use. So I didn't print those out because obviously I have the real ones. But if you don't have them, no fear. I have provided little paper ones that you can use. All right, so let me show you one more activity. Okay, this last activity is not part of the activities that I just made this year. I made this one either last year or the year before, or something like that. And this one practices beginning sounds, and it also practices matching capital and lowercase letters. So this is really good for preschool kids. And what it is you get these different mats. They look like this. There's just different winter pictures and different letters. So this one here has it has the entire alphabet on there and has capital and lowercase letters, so the kids can get used to seeing both of them. And what they do is they have some cards like this. They choose a card and then they have to find the beginning sound. So what does elephant begin with? Elephant begins with E, and then they're going to use a manipulative to cover up the letter. So they'll just choose another one. Here I have a turtle. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. Turtle begins with T, so we're going to cover up the T, and they'll just continue on until they've covered up every single letter. I have a bear, I'm going to cover up B, and you can use obviously any manipulative you have. Okay, then the other way you can use this is the mats that look like this, that have just capital letters on them. This one looks like that, and then this one looks like this. You're going to use the cards here that have lowercase letters. So the kids are going to just go ahead. I like to put them upside down and have them flip it over. I don't know what it is about flipping over a card, but they find it fun. And so this is lowercase t, and then they're going to look on their mat and they're going to find uppercase T, and they're going to go ahead and just cover it up with whatever you have for them to cover it up with. Here is lowercase b, so I'm going to find uppercase B and I'm going to cover it up. So you can see there, and then again, they could continue on until they've finished all of them. Oops, here's lowercase s, and I'm going to cover up capital S. So you get the idea. Now, what was I going to say? There was something else I was going to say about this. But anyway, they would just continue on until they've covered them all up. And then, what I was going to say is that I didn't just provide the letter. I also provided a picture clue to the letter as well. So when they are practicing matching upper and lowercase, you can also talk about the sounds. So F for fish and G for guitar, H for hat, and so on. And whenever I do vowels, I always use the short vowel sound unless I'm making something for long vowels. So that's another thing to keep in mind when you're doing this. So, okay. I think that's it, guys. Yeah, that is it. That is finally it. So this activity, this last one is called Alphabet Cover Me Up activity. So this one is from a couple years ago, so it won't come in the download if you get the seasonal activities. But I did want to show it to you because it is another winter one that's kind of fun for those young preschool-aged kiddos. So again, I'll leave links below to everything. When you get the download, if you haven't ordered or purchased any of my activities before, it will come with a label that you can put on a bag so that you can label it, and you are ready to keep it organized. And I also have videos on how I organize these activities, so check that out. I did one recently, a couple weeks ago. So, all right, I'm going to just stop talking because I could go on forever. See you later, guys. Bye.